Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today will be a continued coverage of the ongoing conflict that is taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. Well, it's still the state of Ethiopia. However, it absolutely is in a state of civil distress, civil war, and it would appear to be quite possibly at the apex of breaking apart. But as we speak, the conflict continues. There has been rather remarkable advances in the context of the operational tempo of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. They continue to press into the Afar region and engage Ethiopian army and regional paramilitary units that were unwisely brought in to be used as basically cannon fodder. These forces, these regional forces, are really designed for their locales. They do not have the supply infrastructure. The Ethiopian army is having difficulty supplying its own forces, much less having the ability to supply these regional forces. Compounding that, there appears to have been no training regiment that was established to help these regional forces as they sent them into the meat grinder, which would be the Tigray region, or now areas around the Tigray region. And I think if you look at what is occurring now in terms of the operations that are now taking place outside of the Tigray region, you can compare and contrast that with really kind of what happened during World War II. The German Wehrmacht invaded the Soviet Union and pressed its operations all the way to the Soviet capital of Moscow, and were eventually driven back. However, the Soviet army did not stop there. They continued to prosecute the war until the Nazi threat was no longer a threat. Now, does that mean the Tigrayan Defense Forces are going to continue operations all the way to Addis Ababa? Well, that will remain to be seen. I would say the probability is low. However, in retrospect, if we think about what is occurring now to what was occurring just 4 months ago, that idea cannot be completely eliminated. Again, we were looking at a situation where the Tigray region was completely occupied before the catastrophic military defeats occurred, driving those forces out of the country. But the operations continue. The Tigrayan Defense Forces continued to press into the Afar region. Again, there's no real, it's a very sparsely populated region of probably just over 1 million people for the size of the region it is. Again, it doesn't have a great deal of infrastructure. Obviously, there are no formal front lines that have been established. So that caused the rapid movement of the Tigrayan Defense Forces into the Afar region to seize objectives that could be perceived as strategically important to the Ethiopian army and the Ethiopian state. And many of those objectives have in fact been seized. The Tigrayan Defense Forces continue to move south past Kobo. Kobo has been taken. Now, is that being displayed on the local media outlets, especially Amhara militias? No, I would say that is not the case. I think what we are seeing is mentions of it. However, the TDF has pushed farther south and continue to press farther south from Kobo, as well as they continue operations towards the town of Sokoto. And just yesterday, we started receiving reports that the operational tempo of the western area of operations has increased. Is the TDF making a drive towards Amhara? Possibly. When will that occur? That is difficult to say. The Ethiopian army, and more specifically the Amhara militias, have moved significant assets into the region to protect the border with Sudan and to prevent supplies coming in to the TDF and the Tigray regional state. And we would assume that resistance will continue. Have we seen a all-out offensive by the Tigrayan Defense Forces on the western front? No, we have not. The build-up has not quite yet occurred that would give the TDF the ability to bring its forces to full bear on the western area. Right now, again, we're seeing quite a bit of the TDF combat power being utilized in the east and in the south. And it is definitely grabbing the attention of the Ethiopian army. It is definitely pulling assets that could possibly be used in the Tigray region direct, or possibly reinforcing the western area of operation. It is making these forces head towards the Afar region. It is making these forces head towards southern Tigray, or really now the front lines have been pushed into the Amhara region. And the Amhara region is now, for all intents and purposes, a combat zone. So unlike whereas the Tigray region was a combat zone, the Amhara region is now a combat zone, and they are feeling the effects of a fairly significant conflict. Now, having felt the effects of a fairly significant conflict, that may bring the Amhara region to the negotiating table, in which quite possibly they could withdraw from Western Tigray. Now, would that satisfy any sort of punitive elements into this conflict in terms of what happened inside of Tigray when these Amhara militias and the Ethiopian state moved in to the region and caused significant harm? I don't know. That is up, obviously, to the Tigray Defense Force leadership, the TPLF, and obviously the people of Tigray on how that continues, or if it continues, in terms of the continuation of the conflict. There is a lot of people in the region that would like to see Abiy Ahmed and the Prosperity Party removed from power. And is that an option? Is that a military solution? Well, obviously, I would say 4 months ago, we would probably, everyone that is watching this channel would probably say, no, not at this time. The dynamics have changed, and the possibility of a military solution to remove Abiy Ahmed from power, while not absolute, appears to be an option. But we will continue to monitor the situation and report as things occur. I will do another video detailing the operation into the Afar region and kind of where things are right now a little later. But right now, I bid you goodbye and have a great day.